hang out with you guys tonight. It's a Friday night. So on Friday nights, sometimes I do something called Dr. Boyce Exposed, where I answer any and all questions that you guys may want to ask me. So you can ask me any question on any topic that you want to ask. Now, my Instagram, it looks like it's telling me that my connection is not that strong. So hopefully that's not going to cause a connection issue. I hope you guys can hear me. Give me a yes in the comments if you're able to hear me okay. Looks like we might have some Wi-Fi challenges here. I hope not. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? B1. Yep, that's right. That's right. All right, so let me see here. Can you guys hear me okay? Am I coming through okay? Because I'm looking, it looks like my Wi-Fi connection is not super strong, so I'm kind of concerned about that. Am I freezing? Okay, shit. If I'm freezing, then that's an issue, right? So yeah, so if you ask any question, I will answer any question on any topic, and I'll put your question on the screen. And those of you who can't hear me on Instagram, go to drboycetv.com. I'm gonna put this on the screen so you guys, because it looks like my Instagram isn't coming through. I don't know why. Oh, you can hear me. Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna do is put this on. I'm gonna pin this just in case we need it. So yeah. So if it goes out again, just go to drboycetv.com. You can hear me. All right. What's going on, Max? What's happening, everybody? Now somebody says, can I send you some free merch? Yeah. There's an email address, producer@flynubianmedia.com. That's my manager, Taryn. You can send her information to her over that way. Let's see. I have a question as an educator. What do you think is the most important thing I should teach my students to be successful in the future? I think that Black kids could benefit best from a class on life. A lot of our kids maybe went to school and graduated, but they don't know how to succeed in life. I don't understand why you would need to know, the periodic table if you don't know how to, do basic stuff like cook or clean or how to, I don't know, open a bank account or, get a job or start a business, right? I think those things should be taught after you learn the basics and the essentials. So I would say if I were designing a curriculum, which I actually am, at some point I'm going to build a school, like a physical school. We have the Black Business School. We have 145,000 students now. But if I were to build a physical school for kids, I would include reading, writing, math, so that you can consume information, communicate information, do mathematical calculations so you won't get ripped off. Black history, so you know where you come from. I would have them learn stocks, bonds, and real estate, or stocks, real estate, and how to start a business, and then also something on critical thinking skill. Most of our kids don't know how to think, and that's why they get played, on a regular basis. Do you trust Bitcoin or just stick to common stocks? I do trust Bitcoin, but I think Bitcoin, last time I checked, was having a few problems. So Bitcoin may be, it's risky. It's risky, man. Just be really careful. What are the best cities for Black entrepreneurs and Black creators to move to and build community? I hear Detroit has some really good stuff going on. I love what's going on in Detroit. Atlanta is always a wonderful place. I'm going to actually do some work down in Atlanta. We're going to make some movies in Atlanta. Those are probably my top two. I'd say Detroit and Atlanta. Charlotte's nice. I don't hear much from people from Charlotte, but I know Charlotte's really nice. Let's see here. What's going on with Urban One stock? It's been pumping lately, but I haven't heard anything. I don't know. I haven't checked it in a while, but that's interesting. I'm gonna look that up. Let's see here. I'm gonna scoot down. If you can't see, by the way, if you can't hear or whatever on the Instagram, my Instagram is Real Boyce Watkins. If you have trouble hearing or it freezes again, just go to drboycetv.com. What's the reason you disable comments on all your videos? Because I don't give a fuck what the stupid people think. I mean, it's just like when the Chinese decided, when you had Chinese leadership that decided that they were tired of China being addicted to opium and they wanted China to do better. Well, they had two enemies. The first enemy was the British, who were making money selling opium to the Chinese. And so you had to fight the drug dealers, but then you got to fight the drug addicts. So basically, there were people that were mad, and the leaders said, "I don't give a fuck what you think." So that's where I am. I'm at a point where I just don't care. Like, I don't really. If you don't have something thoughtful to say, and you're not trying to be respectful and decent in the way you communicate, then I don't want to hear from you. I mean, fuck you. Go somewhere else. Seriously. Let's see here. I'm not here for everybody. Like, I'm not a kumbaya type of guy. You should know that by now. I'm a warrior. That's why I carry on my necklace. I have a lion on my necklace. And I went to see a psychic one time, and the psychic said, it's so funny because I had my necklace on and it was under my shirt. She couldn't even see it. And the lady said, "You have the heart of a lion. you're a fighter like a lion. You should keep fighting like a lion. And I pulled this out. And she said, yeah, I didn't even see that necklace, but I could tell you have a lion spirit, and I fight. I'm not here to build bridges or be patient with people that are destructive. I'm here to be serious. I'm very, very serious. And I ain't got time for nonsense. So yeah, we disabled comments for a while because we were like, okay, if you're trolling, don't do it one time. Just do it one time, and you're out. You'll never be invited back ever again. So let's see. What are your thoughts on XRP? I'm holding XRP. I'm not going to. I'm not. I can't. You can't really sell it that easily. I gotta ask my crypto experts exactly how you can convert it back to fiat. I think they had a process for that. I gotta go look it up. But I'm holding it because I believe in XRP. I think the lawsuit has no merit. I think XRP is going to make a comeback. So I'm holding out just in case. Let's see here. Next question. Critical thinking, super important. Absolutely. What are your thoughts about Forex? I like Forex. I'm actually going to do a Forex masterclass and get some experts in to the Black Business School. Right now, we're doing a crypto masterclass every Tuesday night. You can go to cryptoinvestingmasterclass.com if you're interested. That's going really well. But I want to do one at a time. So the next one I'll probably do is probably either Forex or day trading. These are things that I know about because, my PhD kind of gives me the ability to understand a lot of things, but I know enough to know. The best thing you know is what you don't know, right? So I know enough to know what I don't know. So I know that Forex is a beautiful market. It's very liquid. There's a lot of stuff going on there, but I also know that I'm not a daily trader in the Forex market. So I want to get some people that are really in there to actually help in terms of co-teaching the class. Let's see. Why don't you, how come you don't like Kevin Samuels? I like Kevin Samuels actually very much. I just don't agree with him. And I think that it's very important for Black people to know that there's a difference between disliking somebody and disagreeing with somebody. And I think Kevin gets that. I think Kevin really gets that. I don't like the idea that we think that in order to be men, we got to beat up on women. Just where I come from, that's not masculine. There's nothing masculine about trying to compete with a woman, trying to, gang, you ain't nothing, blah, blah. No, like just tell the women where you stand. Just say, look, I'm not going to argue with you about that. Like, no, I'm not going to do that, right? You can do that and maintain your masculinity without feeling like you have to beat up on women. And some people say, well, no, he doesn't do that as balance. I don't agree because I looked at the data. I looked at the channel, and every single image was a disrespectful image of a Black woman. The last 10 images I looked at was an image of a Black woman looking crazy like this, bug-eyed. Another one had her face on the ground. Another one was looking all crazy with rollers in her hair, and that didn't come off as balanced to me. I don't know about if it comes off as balanced to you, that means you're probably an unbalanced person because there's nothing balanced about every single image having a woman in it. And I am all for holding women accountable. Lord knows I got attacked like crazy by the white media, which I don't give a shit what they think. But they went after me big time because I made the comments about Lizzo and her white benefactors promoting obesity as body positivity. I still stand by that. They didn't want to hear what I had to say because they wanted to paint a narrative. Oh, Black men attacking Black women, unga bunga, right? So I got a lot of heat from that. Oh, I heard you're sexist. I heard you don't like Black women. Why? Well, because I think it's okay for white people to pay a Black woman to act like a hoe and to tell people that it's okay, that's good to be fat. No, that's what's killing that's what killed Black people during COVID. It's little things like that where that lets me know I don't connect with the rest of the world because that's common sense. That's what you call common damn sense. You're promoting obesity, but then you're complaining that 3 months later because you're dying from obesity. What the hell's wrong with you? What makes you think that it's good to do something that's going to kill you? That doesn't make any sense to me. So I wasn't attacking Lizzo, but that's what they said. So I get that. When you're in the middle, you're going to get attacked from the left and the right. So only strong people can kind of be in that space because sometimes you don't have any friends except for other people who are able to process what I'm saying. And that's not everybody. People pick their side. And I think it's all stupid. Honestly, I think it's dumb. Why would you promote obesity? And then Black people are dying from obesity. More people die from obesity than police shootings. The number of people that killed from the cops is like down here. Number of people die from like fried chicken, like way up here. And you up here talking about Black Lives Matter. If you ain't talking about that, then you don't believe Black Lives Matter. You're just repeating the damn slogan. Seriously, you just stop it. Let's just stop that. So no, I don't dislike Kevin Samuels. I just think that we can be men and we could talk about what matters to us without feeling like we got to attack Black women, because Lord knows there's enough people attacking Black women. It's just like there are enough people out here attacking Black men. I want a Black woman who's going to stand up for herself and not feel like she has to throw me under the bus in the process. There's a difference, but only certain people are going to get it. Most people are not going to understand that, and that's perfectly fine with me. Maybe they'll get it in 20 years. I have no idea. Let's see here. We always say the white man. That's the white man. That's why we never talk about white Jesus. Okay. All right, I'm in Detroit. Okay, cool. What do you think about the Shiba Inu coin? I'm not gonna buy it. It's another Dogecoin. I'm not interested. I mess with Dogecoin just for fun. Y'all got me out here losing money. I was like, damn, I knew I shouldn't have bought that damn thing. But I'll tell you what, I bought some Virgin Galactic. Ooh, yeah. And if you remember, we talked about Virgin Galactic a long time ago because I was buying it to sell the options every week. I didn't know that the stock was going to take off, but Virgin Galactic went up, I think, 40% today. It's pretty awesome. Let's see here. Would you consider creating a Black social scientist coalition where Black economic leaders like you and Dr. Claude, Black lawyers, educators, et cetera, team up to solve problems? I don't know if I'm the guy. I don't know if I'm that guy because I'm controversial. I am divisive in certain ways. I ain't gonna lie. I can't, because I don't have patience to deal with idiots. I just don't. You're stupid. I'm just gonna be like, this is just dumb. I ain't got time for this. So you probably need somebody who's a little more diplomatic. I'm not that guy, but I would join. I would support that. I would even give money. I would even write a check for it. But I wouldn't actually want to be like the person to bring people together because I'm not exactly that guy. I'm in Atlanta. I want to be in your movie. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I am Love. I am going to make announcements when we start casting and stuff like that. And we do have some movie projects that we're going to do in Atlanta. We're also going to do another project. I'm doing a project with Tierra KJ Williams out in LA. So we're actually going to end up looking for actors and actresses in LA real soon. Now that COVID's over, we're going to start doing more public events, more films, things like that. So we got a lot of cool projects in the works, and we're really proud of our movies. We created like a whole movie division, and our movies have been seen by millions of people. So we're really proud of that. We partner with Kweli TV, KWELI. Kweli TV is the Black Netflix. There's a sister that runs it, and I met her, and I like her a lot. She is so cool, so smart, and I hope everybody will subscribe to Kweli TV. You give your money to Netflix, you give your money to Disney, that's fine. Just break a little something off for Kweli, and help her because she's got a lot of great Black movies on there. She really believes in it. I talked to her, I looked her in the eye, I really liked what I heard, and I really wanted to support her. So we put a lot of our movies on Kweli. I can't remember how many we have on there, but she sends, it's like a little royalty check. It ain't a whole lot of money, to be honest with you, but it just makes me proud. But the numbers are big in terms of numbers of viewers, like in the hundreds of thousands, like every quarter. It's the beginning. That's how industries get built. All right, so let's see here. Cooking, sewing, cleaning, etc. I got my teachings at home, but I also learned a lot of home economics at school. Good for you. Doc, how are you? I have $1,000. What should I do financially with it? I would put it into an S&P 500 index fund. If you look up SPY is the ETF that tracks the S&P 500. That gives you a little bit of like a little tiny piece of America. And this is a very bad time to not be in the stock market because the stock market is setting records every single day. So there's money being made out there. So please go get it. Let's see. Dr. B, how can we love and build family structure when the older generation, my family, is caught up in religion and arrested development? Sometimes you got to amputate a little bit. It doesn't mean you just cut people out of your family, but you have to kind of, sometimes you got to really be strong and clear about what you want and who you are in order to kind of combat the fact that a lot of our people think like slaves. They're just stuck in a weird slave mentality, and you have to kind of you have to be strong to combat that because your tendency is to go with the crowd. And the problem is that the crowd is not winning. The crowd is not succeeding. The crowd is not smart. The crowd is not successful. So don't follow the crowd. Spend time by yourself, meditate, learn who you are, read books, to come to your own conclusions. That way you're at least able to kind of make better decisions, or at least get around people who know how to succeed in the area that matters to you. People that are happy, people that are successful, people that are good natured, that want to get along. Like if you get in that space, then you'll become more like that just naturally. And that's what I do. There's certain people you got to block your energy from. You can't have them around you or they're going to undermine everything you're trying to do. All right, so let's see. JL says, do you think corporate America has been a net positive or net negative for Black Americans? Excellent question. And thank you for your donation, by the way. I think corporate America has been, that's a tough one, man. That's a good question. God, let me drink a sip of coffee on that. I'm going to go ahead and say a net positive because I know people that have jobs and they're glad they have their jobs, right? So I wouldn't say that it's a complete negative. But it's one of those things where, they pay you $1 and they make $10. So some call that exploitation. I think that's kind of a harsh way to describe it, because if somebody offers me a job and I need a job and all I've been trained to do is search for a job, then, you're doing me a favor. I'm happy to have that job. That's the controversy that came up when Nike was in trouble for, buying soccer balls from these people in India. They were hiring kids and paying them like, 50 cents a day or whatever. They went in and they said, we're shutting all this down because this is exploitation. But then a lot of those families got mad because they were like, we need those jobs. Like, those jobs are important for us. Now, obviously, the best answer is to force them to pay more money, but which I guess they didn't put that on the table. But, that's one of those things where, if I need money and all I want is a job and you give me a job, have you really exploited me by not teaching me that I could be making 10 times more money by running the business or by investing for myself? Or are you simply giving me what I want? And that's a philosophical question, right? But I think it's realistic. So I would say corporations have been a net positive, because you live in the richest country in the world. That's not a terrible thing. But what I would like for you to do, those of you who are in that group that wants more, teach yourself to aim for more and teach your children to aim for more. Because I don't really teach my children about getting jobs. I don't talk to my baby. My 10-year-old is the one I hang out with the most. I'm training her to be a little executive. I'm taking her with me. I'm making a movie. I'm taking her on the movie set. She wants to be an actress. I'm gonna teach her how to be a director and how to be an actress and how to be a boss and how to be an investor and all these things. And she will never be, like if she's an employee, it'll be temporary. It'll be so she can learn. It'll never be like a permanent state of the world. So you got to start your kids at the top. That's how you make them. That's how you prepare them for greatness. The live is great here. Oh, thank you, I'm Love. I appreciate that. Let's see here. I'm so happy for you. Thank you. Bitcoin's about to go up. Countries are accepting it as national currency. Yeah, I saw Bitcoin plummeted today. I haven't read the news, but I wonder what's going on with that. Which NFT do you like? Honestly, none of them yet, because I'm not ready to buy an NFT. I did a talk on the NFTs in Philadelphia. There's a rapper named Jay Morrison who runs an art gallery. He's a really smart young guy. He's a great entrepreneur, great artist, great, everything. He runs art from the heart. And I was up there on a panel with a guy named Zevi G and a guy named Raf, R-A-F. And we were talking about NFTs, and the technology is really intriguing. It's definitely going to be big. A ton of money is going to be made, but it's still so sketchy. And also, a lot of NFT transactions are money laundering, honestly. Like, let's just keep it 100. I'm not saying that all of it is, but a lot of it is. Because why would somebody pay, $30,000 for a digital image that's not even a good picture? Like, and like, what are you going to use that for exactly? Now, don't get me wrong. I understand art is funny like that, but there's something fishy weird about that. But on the brighter side, NFTs are intriguing enough. I'm actually going to take some time and study the Ethereum programming language. I'm going to actually take, I budget my time out literally on a timesheet. So I'm going to take 100 hours and do nothing but study Ethereum blockchain programming and learn that really well, because I want to dig in there. I want to be inside the blockchain and see what's going on and really get a sense of that, because I feel like the crypto is something very, very big, and I think it's going to be the wave of the future. Am I in any movies? I'm in a few. I'm in like Hidden Colors and stuff like that. Let's see here. Trust and Believe. I'm not worried about a more. Okay, you just a screen name. Okay, you sound like y'all arguing. Let's see. Somebody says, well, you need to get better educated instead of wondering why someone else would buy something. Good point. Good question. Let's see. My bad for asking a bad question. Yes, a bad question. What's your question? I didn't see it. Is China a threat to Black people? I don't think they are. But China is going to dominate the world, though, so you got to be careful. Black psychologists, sociologists, anthropologists, spiritual leaders, etc. Absolutely. Please repeat your email for merch. Yes, it's producer@flynubianmedia.com. That's producer@flynubianmedia.com. I was watching one of your vids today, Sense and Sense. Okay, cool. How do you buy XRP? I think it's hard to buy. I don't know if you can buy it right now because it's frozen on Coinbase and the other exchanges. Do you have a beginner's class, and will you soon be coming to Atlanta anytime soon? Yeah, there's something you can do that doesn't cost you anything. Go to firstshareofstock.com. That's firstshareofstock.com. That way I'll email you like lots of free stuff, and that way you can kind of be in the ecosystem. There's also a free life class I have at blackkeystogreatness.com. That's blackkeystogreatness.com. And that's a good one to sign up for, just because I'm going to actually do a book club kind of thing with Powernomics. I'm actually going to every Sunday night go through Powernomics, pick a couple of paragraphs, read the paragraphs, and break it down and do that like at least once a week. And we're going to work all the way through the Powernomics book. And then we're going to do that with Black Labor, White Wealth. I want to go through all Dr. Anderson's books to make sure you understand exactly what's going on. And I thought about that because I met a brother in Philadelphia who was a big supporter, big fan. And he said that he didn't quite understand everything in Powernomics. Some of the terminology was a little bit tough to comprehend. So I said, okay, that will be fun. Let's, so I'm gonna do a book club. So I'm gonna do it. It'll be free. So if you sign up at blackkeystogreatness.com, I'll let you in the book club for free. So you can join us on Sunday nights and we can talk about it. Thank you, Terrence Harris, for that donation. I am so grateful and appreciative. Thank you very much for supporting the platform. What are your thoughts on China buying the U.S. debt? I think they've been doing it for a long time. Does it make us vulnerable? Yeah, a little bit, but not entirely. Do you have a class on options? Yes. It's stockoptionsmasterclass.com. That's stockoptionsmasterclass.com. What did he say that was beating on women? Give an example. Well, if you go to the page and you're talking about Kevin Samuels, I'm not saying, I didn't say beat on women. I'm talking about just kind of being a little bit mean, right? And I think, and I'm not saying that everything is untrue. I'm just saying, like, I looked at the last 10 videos. Every video was an image of a Black woman. And now Tommy Sotomayor has stepped up and said, no, I was the first one to attack Black women, right? He's like, no, he's copying off of me. And I just kind of was like, so beating up on Black women, like screaming at Black women is like an industry now. Like that's a way to get your channel off the ground. Like, is that what it is? And it's fine. Like if you want to beat up on some, beat up on me. Like there's so many people that are building great YouTube channels just talking about me and talking about Alicia. And thank God she does not give a fuck. Cause I was like, babe, do you know that there's like people that have gotten 1 million views just by making shit up about our relationship? And she's like, really? That's so cool. So yeah, there are people. So beat up on a guy, beat up on me. I'm a man. Like that makes more sense. Fight a man. I don't care. But Black women, like, stop it. Some of these women are sad. Some of these women are good people who haven't done anything wrong. Like you got some women that have a couple kids by some raggedy dude who don't want to take care of his children. And now everybody's like, well, I won't date a woman with kids because she a hoe, she a this, she a that. And somebody's like, why would you date a woman with kids? And I was like, well, why would a woman date a man with 2 or 3 babies mamas? Like, you got guys that got babies mamas, like, but that doesn't make us bad. I got babies mamas. I got 8 baby mamas. And then I have like god kids because I love children. I love helping the youth. Like it's like a passion. I was a track coach. It's fun for me, right? And there's nothing simping about that. I always felt like that was the way to be supportive to the community and invest in the kids. Muhammad Ali used to say, I believe the children are our future, teach them well and let them lead the way. That's what I believe, And so I'll tell you, I get so sad when I see so many young guys misguided, like children are just terrible because they're not your kids. They don't matter. That sounds like something white people would say. That sounds like something a racist would say about Black children. Like, those kids don't matter. Like, a kid gets shot in the street in Chicago and you don't care because it ain't your kid. No, I care. I care about all those kids, So I think I just want people to hear a different narrative. I'm not here to change people's minds, because if people decide that they hate you and they don't like you and they don't agree with you, they're just going to stick to their point of view because they're trying to win. They're not trying to be right. They're trying to just win the argument. But for the people that are just not sure, or the people that don't agree, I want to give you courage and say, stand up, stand up for stand up for the Black woman, stand up for your community. Like, I'm not saying every woman's perfect, but my God, like, if a woman has a couple of kids by some raggedy dude, like, you think that stains her for life? Man, but also it could be money too. Part of the reason I didn't mind marrying a woman with kids, because when I was picking, I had plenty of choices, because a lot of women see me and you go places and women know you. So I had plenty of choices, and I didn't even care if a woman had a child or not. What I paid attention to was, what kind of child do you have? Because if your child is a great child, that's a gift. That's a gift. That means I get the opportunity to create another great Black leader. I get to raise that child to become, an entrepreneur, an intellect, a scholar, all these things, right? So that's exciting for me. Now, if your child is a problem, then that's another issue. Or if his father is a terrible person, then that's some stuff I wouldn't want to deal with. But also I think money maybe plays a part in it. So I think for some guys, like, if they don't have enough money, then they can feel like, well, I can't afford to take care of like all these other people. And so a guy that has money or whatever is going to be like, I don't care. Like, if we go to McDonald's, it'll cost $22 instead of $14, but I don't care. Like, $7 doesn't matter to me, right? So I think maybe money makes a difference. I think age makes a difference, but ultimately I think perspective makes a difference, man. My heart goes out to these kids that don't have their fathers. A lot of their fathers are just gone, and and it's not their fault. It doesn't mean that they're little raggedy pieces of shit that are worthless. They're good people and they deserve love too. And maybe I'm sensitive to it because I was one of those kids. Like, I did not. It wasn't my fault. My father wasn't there. My mother didn't do anything. Like, my father was a drug addict. My father was incarcerated. My father was gone. He abandoned all three of us, me and my sister and my brother, and all of them have scars from that. I just got lucky because I had a man that stepped up and took care of me. But a lot of kids don't get that. So I just kind of think it's like a little bit weird, and I hope nobody feeds into that stuff. I just it's sad to me. So no, just in case you're wondering, like, if I pay, do I care about the simp talk and all that? No, I don't, because this is coming from like young guys a lot of times, and I mean, only a simp gets caught up in calling people simps and all that. Sounds like Gucci. I don't like Kevin Samuels. He double dutched with the girls as a kid. No comment. No comment. I didn't see the explanation about the man in the bed. I have no idea, but I don't care about that. But I did see what really made me wonder, honestly, was when Vicky Dillard showed the high school picture and read the little bio. He likes dancing, clothes, and meeting people. That was a little bit weird. I'm not gonna lie, that was a little weird to me. Like, I didn't say things like that in high school. I went to high school after he probably went to high school in the 80s and the 90s, and and I didn't say those things. I didn't say I like dancing, clothes, and meeting people. I said I like football, I like track, and I like girls, like stuff like that. I didn't say dancing, clothes, and meeting people. That's kind of okay, all right. Anyway, let me keep going. Let me just stop because I know people are gonna make a lot out of it, or whatever. Sometimes I forget that people know who I am, and sometimes I'll say stuff and I'll be like, "Oh, they did a whole video about that." How much do I weigh now? I'm getting a little fatter, and I actually decided I'm getting muscular though. Like, I've been, doing some like, stuff with my arms and all that, but I'm getting a little bigger around the waist. So I'm going to start running longer races. So Alicia's going to have me running some half marathons and stuff like that. So I'm going to do some of that. Let's see, why does reparations seem impossible when in fact it's easily possible? It's not impossible. It's just that white people make it impossible if they don't want to do it. That's all it is. They just don't want to do it. Lizzo needs to lose weight. Yeah, well, I don't really care if Lizzo loses weight or not. That's her decision. I just don't want people mistaking obesity with being healthy. Like, that's the key. And I think also, I feel like they make Lizzo into a minstrel show, and she reflects, the very worst that Black women can represent. Like, she's kind of, you see her, she got the liquor bottle. She's being kind of a hoe, I'm a sucker man's blank on TikTok. And I kind of feel like Black women, I know a lot of Black women who are offended that you can't get opportunities in the music industry unless you behave that way, unless you behave like a big fat drunken hoe, who, is twerking while you play the flute and talking about how being obese is a good thing. Like, it makes you a clown. The minstrel show is very real. There's a history to minstrel shows, and Black people need to understand that history to understand that they want you to be kind of a joke. They like for you to be a clown, and a lot of our people are addicted to that clown behavior. Like, we think that if somebody calls it out, that they're hating, or like, oh, you just blah blah, you uppity. No, I just don't want to be a motherfucking clown. Like, I'm a man. I'm a king. I'm not you. If you're the clown, you can't be the king. The king and the clown can't be the same person. It's like when Will Smith said, he said, I like what Will said. Will said, you can either be sexy or you can be funny. You can't be sexy and funny at the same time. So he makes a choice. He said, I'm either going to go into a situation and be the sexy guy or go in and be the funny guy. I can't be both, right? And it's the same way. You can either be the king or you can be the clown. I don't want to be the clown. We got enough clowns. Clowning is a $1 trillion industry in the Black community. If you ever want to make a lot of money, go be a clown for the white man. He will gladly pay you all kinds of money in order to do that, and give you plenty of butter biscuits to do that. Congratulations on your awesome Black love. Thank you, Sharice, and thank you for your donation, and God bless you. I appreciate you very, very much. Next, let's see. You can transfer XRP from Coinbase wallet to Uphold wallet. At least that's what I did. Okay, were you able to convert it back to fiat though? Can you convert it back to fiat currency? Let's see, Kevin Samuels defended you when all those ladies came for you. Yes, he did. And I'm gonna tell you, it was hard for me to tell the truth after knowing he defended me. Andre Hatchett told me that. And that's why I say that I don't dislike him. That's why I also say I just want to tell the truth. And it's hard. It's hard to say something honest that's negative about somebody that did right by you. Like, for example, it's hard. It's uncomfortable for me to have to say, that I don't know what Charlemagne the God did with that girl. Um, all I can say is what Charlemagne did with me. Charlemagne was very nice to me. But when people say, well, did he do that thing with a girl? Well, because I know him, I wouldn't be like, no, he definitely didn't do it because I don't know. But I believe in truth. I believe in proof. And I believe, that, whatever. Like, I don't know what can be done at this point. So that's where I am with that. And what's funny about the internet is that people will expect you to comment on someone because you know that person, right? And some comment on something that you have no ability to know what happened on any of that, but they expect you to talk about it like you know what happened. I've never ever in my life ever been in the room when another man was having sex. When I have sex, I'm the only man that's there. I've never seen anybody. So when Russell Simmons stuff came up and people asked me about that, I was like, I don't know. I wasn't there in the 90s when Russell was having sex. But I worked with him on the mass incarceration project. I'd be glad to tell you about that. But I can't tell you what Russell did in 1993. I did not know him then. Same thing with Charlemagne. I don't know what these people, or even when they talk about Jay Morrison and his business, I was like, I don't know. I just know Jay's been really cool to me. And I know Jay he's never screwed me over. But then again, that's not a confirmation of guilt or innocence. It just means like I wouldn't have a problem working with him because he's never done anything wrong. I judge people based on how they deal with me. That's it. That's all you know. And I think that's like kind of a way to do anything. I think that makes sense. I think you deal with people based on your interaction with them and not based on rumors. I think when you start letting rumors taint you, especially from people who hate that person, I don't know. I'm not into that. I just don't do that. It's a little weird to me. What's on my bucket list? Good question, Lucy. My bucket list. When I die, I'm going to have all my children in power positions running a billion-dollar company. I make most of my money. I don't make most of my money on the internet. I make most of my money in my investments, and that's off the internet because the internet's a very crazy place. The nigger net is ridiculous, and I don't want to be around crazy, small-minded people when I'm trying to really make my money. It's building, it's growing, and by the time I am done, I want my children to I want them to have helicopters and private jets and yachts, and I want them to also remember me as a person who um, broke cycles and set trends for the family that built an empire, and that's a big part of my bucket list. Everything else I've kind of got a chance to do. I've kind of traveled everywhere, and I don't want to like climb Mount Everest or anything. Most of the things I've ever wanted to do, I've actually done them. I can't think of anything that I really want to do that I haven't done. Most of my goals in life now revolve around things with family and being spiritually good and balanced and being happy. Like that's pretty much it. I married the woman of my dreams. Alicia to me was the most beautiful woman in the world. She wasn't like my second or third choice. Like she was my number one draft pick. And that's a hell of a feeling, man. That's a good feeling. All right. So anyway, let me keep going. All right. So let's see here. Somebody says you have to actually watch Kevin Samuels. You're right. I should probably watch it a little bit more because I'll admit I don't watch as many YouTube videos as some people do. I don't even watch the videos that are about me. I literally don't recall a single video I've ever watched about me, to be honest with you. I just don't, good or bad. People, when you do stuff that has impact, people are going to talk about you, and I accept that. There was a whole bunch of rock musicians that had something to say about Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion concert. They said it looked like porn. Yeah, probably because it does, and that's just what it is. Yeah, so there you go. Kevin is an agent. Lizzo has an industry assignment, and she's miserable. Yeah, I think Lizzo's very miserable. I will put her on suicide watch because that poor girl. I think the reason she lashed out at me when I said that thing about the obesity thing is because she herself is probably conflicted. Like I think that she lashed out because she also feels like this isn't good. That's why you got to be careful about trying to get white people to like you. We dream about mainstream acceptance and all that. I brainwashed myself to not even want mainstream acceptance anymore. I used to do that. I used to want to try to get on CNN and try to get a show and all that. And then I realized I convinced myself I'm good enough. Like I'm good enough. No, let them come to me. Let them come to me. I'm gonna kick ass. I'm gonna be so good at what I do that my haters are gonna grow tenfold. So they're gonna be talking about me, and then the people that love me are gonna seek me out, and they're gonna want to be next to me because they know that I'm serious about my shit and that I'm damn good at it. And I can swear to you on a stack of Bibles, every famous person I've ever interacted with that I can think of reached out to me. They sought me out. That's the thing. You tap into your greatness. When you tap into your greatness and you're really doing the shit at a high level, people will seek you out. You ain't got to go chasing nobody. You don't. You don't. I mean, and then when you meet people, be friendly to them, be helpful to them. Then they'll want to engage with you. But don't be out here chasing other people. Ain't nobody better than you. Seriously. And so I never believed any of these people were better than me. It's like, no, I'm Boyce Watkins shit. Ain't never been another motherfucker like me. I'm gonna go in here and do this shit like nobody's ever done it. And then people are gonna notice. And when they start noticing, they start coming in. They start coming to the Mecca and kissing the pinky ring. And that's what it is. I'm not saying in a stupid, arrogant way, but it's true. Like you just do your best, and and everything else takes care of itself. I really believe that. Those in the middle of the road get hit from both directions. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So you got to be strong to be in the middle of the road. Let's see. So JJ says Simp Watkins. Okay, so JJ looks like a hater. So everybody say goodbye to JJ. Say goodbye, JJ. Goodbye, JJ. Get your little bitch ass up out of here. There we go. Let's get them on out of here. All right. Let's see here. My black-owned business is americasveryown.com. There you go, americasveryown.com. What do you think about Tommy Sotomayor? I don't. I'm not a big fan of, I think his approach is a little bit ridiculous. He's a good radio show host or whatever, but he tries to be sensationalist at the expense of black women. He probably had, some of these guys are just really hurt. Some of them have mommy issues. Some of them have been hurt by women and they just don't know how to get over it. So their response is to just lash out at women all the time. And I understand being hurt, but God, man, it's very sad. It's very toxic. I wouldn't even watch like this stuff I don't watch it. We don't watch the internet very often. How do we start building industry so that we can employ thousands and millions of our people? Where do you think we should begin? You begin with your children. So what you got to do is start training your kids to build systems. Stop training them to go get jobs. Train them to build systems, train them to delegate and utilize technology as a way to scale up what they're doing. I talked to a young lady today who runs a hair business. She took our business school class in the Black Business School, and she created a little hair salon where it's like a little one-person thing where she's now making her money doing people's hair. And I said, okay, so the next step is you got to scale that up. So I said, maybe you should film yourself. You love hair; it's your passion. You're good at it. So I said, film yourself doing people's hair, making it look real good or whatever. And then we use the internet to scale up so people all around the world can see how talented you are. And then you want to learn structure and delegation, like how to really run an organization where you don't have to do all the work. So our children have to be trained that way. And it's more of a top-down type of training. This is what they do at Ivy League schools. At state universities, they teach you how to be a good employee. At Ivy League schools, they teach you how to be the boss. They teach you how to be the high-level management where you're managing people. You're not just a worker bee. So don't train your kids to be worker bees. Train them to be the queen bee. Let's see here. Next question. Should people take out their gains from gambling in crypto and invest in more stocks and more diversify, or should people continue to buy the dip in crypto long term? I like buying the dip, but I don't like buying the dip to a point where I have more than 5 to 10% of my portfolio in crypto. When you get more than 10% of your portfolio in crypto, I think it's time to spread your money out a little bit. I wouldn't put more than 10% in crypto. The women who call into Kevin Samuels are a mess. He addresses them as they call in. This week is about Black men being accountable. Okay, well, I'm gonna look. Let me see. I'm gonna go to Kevin's channel right now. I'm gonna Google search. Let's see, Kevin Samuels YouTube channel. So let me see. Hit the thumbs up, by the way, if you haven't done it yet. Okay, so Kevin Samuels channel. So I'm gonna look at all the images of the last 10 videos, and I'm gonna see how many images have an image of a woman. And I'm gonna read every title. This is real data now. This is not me being biased or not me attacking. This is just me I want you to see if you see a theme in terms of his channel's doing very well. He's got, 1 million subscribers. I think that's great. Okay, so the first one has an image of a woman. It says, what do modern women keep getting wrong? The next one is an image of a woman. It says, model claims men are shitty these days. Now there is one now I do see, wait a minute, hold on. Is this? I do see something that says, do modern men have problems with the P? Okay, so that's good. So that's got an image of a man on it. Good. Now I see one that says PhD program at LSU. I don't know what that one means. I don't know, but that has an image of a man on it. So that part I do stand corrected on that. These videos I did not see a few days ago, but these three are all images of men. Now, if I keep going, to when I looked last week, I see a woman that says, "Are modern women toxic?" And then there's a image of a woman who looks kind of mad. Then there's another one that says, "Do modern women know how to get high value men?" That's another image of a woman, kind of looking mad. Then there's another one that says, "What's wrong with wearing my damn bonnet?" And it's got a Kevin arguing with a woman. Then there's another one that says, "Can a stray be domesticated?" And it's a woman looking like an animal, right? Like that. I don't consider that to be a respectful image. Then there's another one, single mothers, chicken and eggs. There's an image of a mother, a grandmother, and a baby, right? So that's another image of women. Then there's another one that says, "Look better than official Saweetie, but can't find a man." So that's got an image of a woman. Another one says, "Mother gets big reality check." That's an image of a woman. Another one says, "Single women keep women single." And it's like an image of a black woman doing like this, kind of looking a little bit crazy. And then there's the next one that says, "Why can't you find a man to marry?" That's another image of a woman in hair rollers. Then there's another one that says, "Girl, hang up. He's so trash, Big Shirley burial." And it has the image of a black woman like this. Then there's another one that says, "Alpha females and high value men." It has an image of a woman in a legal library. Then this one has, now remember, the theme that I mentioned to you guys earlier is that the videos are about women. They tend to target women, right? And then the next 4 or 5 images are women, 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 right? So I'm just saying that, I think, if it's really balanced, that doesn't seem balanced to me. If all those images that I saw, this is what I saw last week. So maybe he changed it, since I mentioned that. I don't know. If he did, that's good, right? But I think the theme I pick up on is, that Kevin's smart, right? So he knows that his channel took off because he got attacked on World Star. That's an example where your haters actually become your marketing team. So their goal was to destroy Kevin, but instead they made him more popular than ever, right? So that's why I don't worry when I get a lot of haters. It's like, okay, now you're making me infamous. You're helping to whatever extent. I don't really care as much because I kind of had a brand for a while. So that stuff on internet stuff is not that important to me anymore. But it's still like, yeah, you're actually, when you really spend all your time talking about somebody, you're not acknowledging their power, their impact. And then what happens is you think you're destroying that person, but you're really feeding energy into their power. And what happens is that you think you're telling everybody to go and tear that person down, when really some of those people are going to say, I kind of actually agree with what he's saying. I kind of like what he's saying, right? So like even with my stuff, my Instagram followers went up when Kwame Brown and all that stuff kind of happened. Like I went up several thousand, right? Because there are people who said, "Let me see what this motherfucker talking about. Look at you, the crazy ass boy walking." Wait, he's actually saying stuff I agree with. Wait, oh, you mean I can actually learn how to make money? This guy, he's not. This doesn't seem accurate, right? And that works out perfect. Those are the people I want. I want the people who say, fuck this guy, and I'm gonna go find out the truth. Right? Then they come and they find out that actually this platform's pretty good, right? It's very original, very unique. And there aren't that many, legit PhDs that are spending this much time breaking down all different kinds of issues in this particular way. And those are the people that I actually appreciate. So, but everybody else that doesn't quite get it, those aren't my people. So everybody isn't going to be your people. That's the one thing you got to understand. Like if you're building a platform, everybody isn't going to like you. Even Barack Obama is hated by half the country. Like, shit, what is this? But even half the country hates Barack Obama, right? And he's damn near a billionaire and very successful, right? So you're always gonna have, when Batman rises, the Joker will naturally arise. When the Democrats rise, the Republicans rise. McDonald's rises, Burger King rises. There's always a rival. There's always a counterculture. There's always an adversary. That's just the way it is. And the bigger you get, the bigger your adversaries will become. That's life. All right, so let's see here. What do you think about green light for kids? I don't know about green light for kids. I have to look it up. I'm sorry, but thank you, Nicole Jones, for your donation. I appreciate that. Let's see. Black Formation says, "Can I interview you sometime for my channel? I'm currently reading a Black History Reader 24. Would love for us to talk. Very active last year." Yeah, I'll put an email address in here, producer@flynubianmedia.com. I'm about to go on part of my honeymoon next week, so I may not do any interviews anytime soon. And I just don't do a lot of interviews in general, but yeah, we could talk sometime, man. We could talk sometime. I did do an interview this week though with the guys at Hip Hop Uncensored. Those are really good guys, and their channel's really, really good, and they're really smart, and I like those guys a lot. Why don't you just call in tonight and have a civil conversation with him instead of assuming? I don't think I can get Kevin on. I reached out to Kevin actually, and I asked him. I told somebody to tell him to call me. He didn't call me. I did it twice actually. He didn't want to talk to me. Same thing with Kwame Brown. I tried to talk to Kwame. Kwame didn't want to talk to me. But and that's I mean, I don't know if somebody want to talk about you, but they don't want to talk to you. I don't. That's kind of weird to me. Let's see here. I think Black women are the most disrespected and being undeserved. Sad to say, but that's how I feel. Yeah, yeah. I kind of don't like it. It doesn't sit well with me, because my mother's a Black woman. When you talk about bad about Black women, you're really talking about your own damn family. You came out of a Black woman. I don't get that. Should people take out? Okay, we already talked about that. Let me see. Next question. Um, is Cynthia G your ex? What? Who said that? No. You know what, Cynthia G? Cynthia G is a person that I shared her content. She sent me a video and said, "Hey, Dr. Boyce, can you share this video?" And I did. And I know Cynthia. I have met her one time in Seattle, and that's it. That's all I know about Cynthia G. So and she took off. I think when I shared her video, she blew up. So it's good for her. But I haven't seen a Cynthia G video in a long time. And no, she is not. She's not my type. How about that? I tend to like women that are more, they carry themselves a certain way. Let me just say that. Not that Cynthia doesn't. This is not anti-Cynthia G, so put that to the side. But, like if me and Alicia had it out, you're not going to have some expose where Alicia is trying to air me out on the internet or whatever. Like people like that are not men who, just so you know, ladies, like men who have something to lose are going to want to be with women who are a little more mature and discreet. Not bitter and toxic and crazy and all that. So shout out to the non-bitter, non-toxic, non-crazy women in the world. I appreciate you all very, very much. Let's see here. That's when we question Black American leadership. I wish I knew what you were referencing, but I do agree we should question them because they're not doing a very good job. You and your wife did a book report without reading the book first. Ooh, well, you actually have a valid point. I think, when somebody likes something, like a lot of people like, Kevin Samuels and stuff, and you have to acknowledge that and appreciate that. And I actually like the guy a lot. I just kind of feel like I kind of wish we could have a more balanced discussion. Like I would have a problem debating him and kind of saying, okay, so maybe there's a way we can talk about this without it. Like, how do we become men with this? Like, how do we do this where we say, look, this is the shit that we don't like. This is the stuff we don't tolerate. This is the stuff that bothers us. And this is where we need to be heard without it becoming like, this is what's wrong with modern women or women with kids, you should never marry a woman with kids. I just don't like that stuff. That doesn't sit well with me, honestly. But doesn't mean I don't like it. That's just not true. How long do you think Ethereum will drop before the rise? I don't know. I got to look at the source. I got to look at why it's dropping. But yeah, the crypto market's been getting its butt kicked. Are you a Christian? Pretty much, yeah. Not completely. I don't go to church. Let's see. I respect you. Thank you very much. Who said I respect you? I'm going to say thank you to the Sharona. Thank you. Mr. Pac-Man says stop the cap. I don't even know what the fuck that means. So get out of here with that. Infrared, where's the starting point to become financially independent? Well, I would say knowledge, like start by learning, what does financial independence look like? So that way, you know what your target is, and then figure out, like where you get your money from and how dependent you are on that source. Like you start off and you have one job with one source of income. And let's say you're a single parent with one source of income, well, you're very vulnerable because if that one source of income shuts down, you're in big trouble, especially if you're living paycheck to paycheck. So a good way to become financially independent, first of all, is just saving and investing as a habit. You save first, then invest, and then build multiple streams of income. So you have other sources of income in case the primary source shuts down. But then also other diversification strategies might include things like who your circle is. Like, so if you're married, the reason that marriage is valuable for you in a wealth building process is because if you have a spouse or a partner, even if you're not married, that is bringing in good money, then that's another level of financial security. That's another backup that can kick in case your primary method starts to decline. So like if Alicia lost her job, she's going to be fine. Or if I lost my money, I'd be fine. I'd like, we still have the house. But then on top of that, we have assets and we have other streams of income and we have other, things like that. So that's security. Security basically comes down to options. You've always known your whole life what it means to have options. And if you don't have options, you know that you're in very, a very risky situation. Kevin says, still got love for your boy. So I love you too, Kevin. Thank you. Ronnie's reparation says B1. Yep, B1 to you too. I took care of kids. It wasn't mine when I was married, but I'm never getting married again. Don't trust these women. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, marriage is hard now because gender roles are very confusing right now. There's so much so much misinformation people get. And I've always said that I think that if you didn't grow up with a father and a mother in the house, you need to learn how to deal with that parent, that gender that you didn't get a chance to go. So what I believe not having a father can do to a woman is she doesn't know how to deal with men. Men are different from women, and if you never had a man I'm talking about every day, like waking up in the house with a man in the house every day, dealing with him all the time, all day long, is very different from like seeing your dad once a month or once every 2 weeks. That's totally different experiences. Same thing with women, or when you start with men who don't have that father, I believe you just don't know what to do. You never taught certain things that men do in certain situations. You just don't know. So you're looking for examples of manhood. So you look at your football coach, maybe you look at the guy you see on TV, because you're looking for that example and you don't know what it is. And then what's really bad is when these guys get spoiled by their mothers. Like men spoil their daughters. Like I spoil my daughters, but Alicia's hard on them. She won't let me spoil them, right? And then Alicia spoils her son, but me and his dad get on him and we don't let her spoil him. So mothers will spoil the shit out of their sons and then dump him out into the world onto some other poor woman who has to fill in the role of his mama. And then next thing you know, she has to be his mother. She's disciplining him like a child because he ain't never learned no discipline. That's like what's really happening. So a lot of the men that I don't even know. I mean, I really think I don't know if I'm trying to build a family, I'm going to find somebody that really had a good example of what it means to be a good woman. If I'm a woman, I'm going to look for a man who had a good example of what it means to be a good man. Because a lot of these examples are wrong. They're just bad. They're not going to work, So that's just my 2 cents. She's damaged goods, Boyce. Who's damaged goods? I don't know who you're referring to. Yeah, I hope you're talking about my wife. My wife ain't damaged goods. Let's see. Should people, cheap stock system? Okay, you already talked about the crypto. Okay. Next. Yes, if a man has a felony that follows him his entire life. Okay. I don't think felonies are necessarily a reason to write somebody off, but I think it's an example of how, you can't judge all books by their cover and just write somebody off because of their previous experience. So maybe, a woman with kids could be compared to a man who has things in his past that, where he made mistakes, right? So, but I don't know if that is a perfect comparison because I don't know if I see kids as a blessing, but she's got some ridiculous baby daddy, then that's clearly a mistake. And it affects other people in her life. I just kind of think it has to be dealt with on a case-by-case basis. I think a woman with kids could beat out a woman that doesn't have children if she's just a super high-quality woman. Like if you give me 2 women that are both attractive, and I've met a lot of attractive women. It's just, I just have. And when I evaluate them, I'm very analytical. So I literally will make a whole list of all the pros and cons of a person before I choose to commit to something. So you give me like one woman with no kids who's gorgeous, and a woman who's like, got a couple kids who's equally gorgeous. But if this woman is a much nicer person, like really nice to me and just loves my dirty draws, and this one's kind of bitchy, I'm going to pick this one, right? Or if this woman over here, if her kids are well behaved and their father is a decent person and doesn't interfere with the relationship, I'm going to pick this one. Or if this woman over here helps me make money, helps me achieve my goals, and this one doesn't support my dreams or whatever, why would you? I mean, seriously. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that children shouldn't be a factor. Everything should be a factor, but you can't be a single issue voter, right? A single issue voter is a person who misses all the multidimensionality that comes with making a critical choice of who you're going to commit to. It's a multidimensional process. It's like if I'm an NBA team owner, I'm not going to pick a draft pick just because he has the highest vertical leap. I'm going to look at about 50 different factors. And I might pick Larry Bird because he can't, even though he can't jump, but the man can shoot shoot like a hawk, and he's the best player, and he can move, and he knows how to dribble, and he has great court vision, right? So you got to look at all those factors. I think that's really, I think when you get to that point where you have all these deal breakers, then you're going to end up having a very thin group of people to choose from. Like, you can't have a bunch of deal breakers. You can have things, though, where you say, I prefer not to deal with that, but I would be willing to deal with that for a certain level of compensation. So that comes actually from the way I think about finance. Actually, in the field of finance, it's the same way. There are very few questions in finance that have a yes or no answer, because in finance, in the world of finance, almost everything has a price. So if somebody says, would you like this brand new Mercedes, this 2021 Mercedes? The answer should never be yes or no. The question should be, well, how much does it cost me? Because that positive of getting that beautiful Mercedes with the nice, wood and chrome and all that, the price, the positive of that comes with a negative. Most of the time, the positive comes with a negative, and the negative can come with a positive. And if the positive outweighs the negative, then it's a yes. If the negative outweighs the positive, then it's a no. So if you got a woman, let's say you got a woman with kids, and you consider that to be a negative, that's okay. It's okay to make that decision. But let's say she's got 50,000 positives, and she's like the woman of your dreams in every other way. But yet, you got somebody saying, well, man, don't be dating no woman with kids. You a simp. So you go date some raggedy chick that doesn't have nearly as many positives just because she has no kids. Well, you're a damn fucking fool. Seriously, you're stupid at that point. You should be evaluating everything. And there shouldn't be one criteria where you say, oh, well, I can't date somebody like that. That's just not the good, smart way to make decisions. That's just the honest to God truth. All right, so let me see here. Dr. Cassandra Coles says, how do I deal with higher ups? Thank you for your donation, by the way. Boss's boss saying my name wrong in a meeting. Would you correct people on the spot or later? Okay, first of all, be careful about taking advice from me on what to do on your job, because I'm the black man that will get you fired, right? It's like getting dating advice from a lesbian. A lesbian has no use for men, so she's going to tell you to cut your husband out at every available opportunity. So just so you know that I have no use for a boss. I have no use for corporate America. I have very little use for white people's businesses because I don't live in that space. But with that said, but I do know how to be. I think I know how. I try my best to be a decent human being. So I would say first off, I would try not to take it so personally, right? A lot of times we get easily triggered and we take everything personally. And that just is going to make you uncomfortable and maybe ruin an otherwise good situation, because I believe sometimes good people make honest mistakes, and you don't have to chop their head off for it. So if it does bother you, then maybe like later on, without kind of confronting or embarrassing the person, maybe afterward, you could kind of make it a light thing, like, well, by the way, you pronounce it like this, not like that, right? And just kind of smile, in a friendly way. I don't think you have to correct them like that, like on the spot all the time. I personally wouldn't do it like that. I would maybe talk to them in a way that doesn't sort of publicly humiliate them, right? I think that makes a big deal, because I had when I had a show on AOL Black Voices, I had this lady on by the name of Angela Michaela Davis. And I hate to say that she was a bitch, but my God, she was, woo, Lord. And I kept, here's the thing. When I talk to my kids, I say, okay, you guys, blah, blah, blah. When I talk to a group of people, I'll say, all right, guys, here's what we're going to do next, right? So I had a panel of women, and I said, okay, guys, so and she goes, we're not guys. And I was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean that. Forgive me. And then we're talking, we're in the conversation. It's really good. The women are saying what they got to say. And then I said something like, okay, you guys. So we only got a few more minutes. And then she's like, we're not guys. I said, we're not guys. I was like, oh, damn, I'm so sorry. And I'm sitting there thinking, but honestly, deep down, I'm thinking, God, what an asshole. Like, why would you, why do you think I'm attacking you? Like guys is a generic kind of, don't get me wrong. I mean, sure, next time I'll say gals or ladies or whatever, but I wasn't calling you men. I wasn't saying, all right, dudes, let's get together. All right, you niggers, let's go. I wasn't doing that. I was just flowing with the conversation. And I think that sometimes we're trained as Black people to be just hypersensitive about everything. And I just personally think that's not a winning strategy. I think that's a reflection of deep-seated insecurities. and this, and this thing where we really care a whole lot about what white people think and all that stuff. So I don't really get offended. Like if a white person says something stupid, I just think to myself, wow, that was stupid. But I don't feel the need to correct them, or because I don't care what you think. I just really don't. I care what I think, but I don't care what you think. And that, so I don't know, my 2 cents. How do you spell Quayle TV? Kweli, Kweli, Quayle TV. Everybody should sign up for that. How long will it take for America to rid itself of racism? It'll never rid itself of racism because white people will never really like you that much. No group likes any other group that much. The Chinese make fun of the Arabs make fun of the Jews make fun of the Mexicans. Every group dislikes every other group. You're the only group that's been tricked into believing that everybody's supposed to like you. So you end up looking like the poor little, disabled kid who's trying to be friends with everybody, and they're making fun of the kid. Like, I'm just telling you, you got to let that go. Like, stop it. They're not going to like you. Why are these haters coming for you as of late? I think we made ourselves a target of a lot of jokes because we were open about, our marriage and our relationship. And I don't regret that, right? I really wanted to show you that I'm not just saying that I respect Black women. I'm committing myself to a Black woman, because a lot of guys will say, things to Black women because they want them to, like them or whatever. But when you look at their track record, my question is, did you give your life to a Black woman? If you gave your life to a Black woman, then that means you really honor and respect Black women, right? That's because the greatest thing you can do is sacrifice and give your life to a person. And so, I think that the reason we got haters was because, when you're happy, you're going to attract miserable people who just kind of want to say what they're going to say. But then also people kind of poke fun. And also, I don't make it easy. I'm an asshole sometimes. I really am. I'm a provocateur. That's what I am. I piss people off because sometimes I know I'm smarter than a lot of people. And sometimes I say that, like, I'll imply that. I'll just say that's stupid. And I think people get their feelings hurt when I say, look, what you just said was fucking stupid, because I don't back down from that. Like, I'm not like, some guy that's going to sit here and let you just kind of try to punk me. Like, I'm going to let you know, like, I'm not a fucking punk. Fuck you. And then when you do that, you're going to get a reaction, right? You're going to get people that get pissed off. So when this thing happened with women and people saying that dating women with kids is stupid and simping and all this other stuff, I was like, no, I'm standing up to all of you fuckers who would say that dumb shit. Like, these are Black women. Like, this is a time to shine. This is a time for us as men, the men who really are down for the community, to really show this shit. Like, you don't sit there quietly and let people assault Black women. And, no, that's not tolerable. That's not acceptable. So that means that I got to fucking get clowned on the internet for the next 8,000 years. I give zero fucks about any of that because I don't try to earn the respect of a goddamn idiot. So that's just what it is. Like, it's totally fine with me. They can make 18 million motherfucking videos saying what they want to say, and I'm gonna make 18 motherfucking million videos saying what I want to say. So fuck it. Your message will be out there. My message will be out there. People can make a fucking choice. I think as Black people, we got to draw those lines in the sand, because y'all know as well as I do that a lot of the shit that happens in our community is fucking stupid. It's destructive. It's not helpful. It's not beneficial to anybody. So I'm not really looking to make everybody happy. I'm looking for my people that can ride with me on this and not be scared. That's it. That's what happens. Sometimes things happen and you go to war. So if that means Kwame Brown is pissed and going to misinterpret everything I say, then so fucking be it. If that means that people are going to make videos about making things up, conspiracy theories about my relationship, so fucking be it. Part of the reason that I like to do Dr. Boyce Exposed, where I answer all your questions, is for those that I care about, that I really care to hear from, right? These are the people that really want to know the truth. So you hear something crazy like Dr. Boyce is a scammer and he's gay and he's this and he's that. Well, just ask me and I'll give you I'll tell you what I know. And then you can decide if you believe me or not. And if you don't believe me, then that's okay too, right? But seriously, at the end of the day, that's what it is. If you're making a difference, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't done nothing yet. That's it. If you go out here, if you find your way, if you find your happiness and you find success, you're gonna have critics, you're gonna have people that are mad. And some of it is just standard male competition. I don't really get offended when people call me a beta male, because I know I'm a motherfucking alpha. Because alphas don't follow the pack. Alphas lead the goddamn pack, and I lead a pack that has millions of people in it. So I have no offense. They can say Dr. Boyce Watkins and whatever they say. They do a lot of funny stuff. It's really hilarious, and it doesn't bother me. So that's only going to make them do it more, and that's okay. I want them to do it more because this is actually like, this is really fun for me. This is something that is necessary because we got to draw lines in the sand. And I want to give you courage. If you don't agree with the bullshit out here, I encourage you to say something. You got to you can't sit there and be scared, man. Like some of these people are messed up in our community and you know it. And we're not going to move forward if everybody's sitting here trying to just quietly go along and get along with whatever the hell people are saying. No, I'm not doing that. Mm-mm. So I have no fear. I don't fear the white man and I don't fear crazy black people. Never feared either one of them. And both of them are equal enemies in my eyes. There's no difference between a destructive Negro and a Klansman. They're all in the same ilk. The only difference is that the destructive Negro is a little more toxic because you think he's your brother because he looks like you. Fuck that. No, some of these people are your enemy. They do not want you to win. They do not want the community to move forward. And we ain't got time for that. So that's where I stand. That's my 2 cents. Do you suggest getting a stockbroker? No, I think you can do everything. I wouldn't get a broker. The apps are pretty good, and I think you can make your investments on your own. There's no research to say that you really need a financial advisor per se. I have one mainly because he helps me put my assets in certain places like my retirement funds, and he helps me keep up with my net worth and all that. But I don't really need him for investing advice because I know how to pick my own stocks and stuff. Let's see here. Do you feel like you are condescending? Yes, I probably am. That's a weakness I have. It'll never go away. So I saw a meme that said, do you think I'm a sarcastic person? And it said, let's see next week on I think the fuck not, or whatever it was, right? Or do you think I care about being sarcastic? And it was like, I think the fuck not, or something. I forgot what it was, but it was really funny. So yeah, I probably do come off as condescending. I don't mean to, but sometimes it's just, people piss you off, so you just say stuff. Why do you say you never met with Sabir Bey this weekend when you were seen shaking his hand and he spoke right after you? That if I met Sabir Bey, first of all, I want to apologize. I heard Sabir Bey was supposed to come on the show with Red Pill, Blue Pill, and it didn't work out. I didn't know why. Nobody told me really why. They just said that there was a miscommunication and he wasn't there. But I don't remember meeting Sabir Bey. I swear to God. I mean, if he said his name, maybe I didn't hear it. I remember Styles P. I remember Red Pill, Blue Pill. I remember Ben X. I do not remember Sabir Bey. And if he's offended, I am so sorry. Actually, I talked to someone today and they said they're going to get Sabir Bey on, and I want him to come on, and I don't want him or anybody to think that I was deliberately trying to offend him because I don't know the guy, but I look forward to meeting him. Let's see, guard your DNA. Okay, China is using companies to get your DNA. I wouldn't be surprised for targeted weapons. You know what? I wouldn't doubt it. China is, they're pretty sneaky. Kamala Harris is embracing the single black family. Yeah, I don't think we should embrace single parenthood. That's a delicate topic, right? I think that we should say we want structured families. Like I'm telling you, you can't. It's hard to build wealth with a bunch of baby mamas and baby daddies. You can't. Wealth is a team sport. You need teammates. It's intergenerational. It's structured. It can't be done when everybody's out here scrambling. You cannot win. It's like a basketball team. A basketball team can't win if everybody's grabbing the ball and shooting from half court and doing whatever they want to do. Basketball teams win when they have a coordinated strategy. That's how you win. Same thing is true with wealth. If everybody's scrambling and trying to survive and playing survivalnomics, nobody is able to gain any power because power is gained through coalitions. Your first coalition is supposed to be your family. That's why they worked so hard to break up black families, because they knew the power of family. So anybody who says anything that's anti-family is, I disagree with those people. I think some extreme feminism is anti-family. I'm not a fan of any of that. Anybody telling you to consistently exterminate your babies and that your men are garbage is not an advocate for the black family. They're an advocate for their own selfish personal power. Any man who says, well, women with kids are garbage and F these hoes and blah, 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 talking that crazy, stupid stuff, he's anti-family. Family is about putting the unit ahead of yourself. This is one thing China does extremely well. That's why China is the economic leader of the planet. Because China they do everything as a team sport. They do everything in groups. They do not do shit as individuals. They don't try to become Superman and tell you I'm the greatest and I'm the this and I'm the that. They clown you for that. So they make fun of you. If you come out here talking about I'm the greatest this and I'm the like our rappers do and some of our preachers do and then even some of the people on the internet, I'm the most sought after, I'm the best, and I'm the blah, 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 blah. They clown you for that. They have a saying in China that says the fattest pig always gets slaughtered. So basically what they're saying is that when you stand out there like that and try to draw attention to yourself, you look like a goddamn fool because they know that the group is how you win. In Africa, they say that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So family is important. Family is so important. And it starts with who you choose to spend your time with. You cannot disconnect your wealth building journey from who you choose to date. If you date people that are going to undermine your ability to form a productive unit and a coalition, then that person is killing your wealth, and you're killing your wealth by choosing to be with that person. So you got to be thoughtful about all of that, or you're going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe and be stuck every time. Let's see here. Let's see. How much does a half an acre of land cost? I don't know. That's a good question. Let's see. Nardo says, why do you think so many black athletes have white wives and girlfriends? I don't know, because these guys are on some other shit. Some of them, a lot of them have black wives though, like LeBron and people like that. So it's not all of them, right? But I never understood it. When I used to work at University of Kentucky in the basketball players dorm, and I asked one of the players, I was like, why do y'all bring in so many white girls? Like, why the white? I asked him, I was 19 when I asked this. And it was weird. Like this guy, he was from Florida and he talked real fast like Florida guys do. But I don't care. I'll fuck them all. I'll fuck them all. I don't care if they're white, black, or whatever. I'll fuck them all. He's just, I was like, okay, that's that. Oh, all right. Okay. All right. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, it's just, we celebrate ignorance, man. It's not, it's ridiculous. And that ignorance kills you. Like, but that rapper Sean Kingston was talking about how he got 10 women on rotation and doesn't use a condom. Who the hell co-signs on that stuff? Like, man, you a super spreader, bro. Like, what are you doing? You're a super spreader. Like, what do you mean you don't wear condoms? Like, and you got 10 women in rotation? I mean, it's just, but no, I'm too logical. I'm talking over everybody's head. I'm being condescending. Whatever, man. Tommy Sotomayor has Tommy Sotomayor, a black woman, if it's getting paid a whole bunch of money to do it. He is a black woman or he has a black woman. I see Tommy Sotomayor, a black woman. Yeah, but I don't get that. Let's see. Yeah, Kevin Samuels goes out of his way to be unnecessarily rude to women who are very nice and respectful when they are talking to him. Yeah, I think that's kind of what happens on both genders, right? You have men that are mad at women and women that are mad at men, right? And they don't take it out on the people that they're really mad at. They take it out on the nice ones. So you have some woman who hates men because she dated, some terrible guys. So she gets a hold of a nice guy. And because she thinks he's too nice, she takes out all of her frustration on him. So you treat the nice guys like crap, but you respect the shitty guys because maybe you're afraid of them, right? You're afraid like he might really kill me or punch me in the face. So you're polite to the shitty guys, but you're really mean to the nice guy. You think the nice guy is weak, right? Because you mistake kindness for weakness because you never had a man that really loved you. Because, I mean, what the fuck's wrong with him? Why would he actually love somebody as worthless as you, right? So you have a self-worth issue, but you misconstrue that into this whole, like, I want a thug and he's too nice and nonsense or whatever. Like, that's just stupid. No, a man is supposed to be nice to you. Like, I'm nice to my wife. Like, I tell my wife how beautiful I think she is, but that's grown-up stuff. That's like, we're not 22 years old. So maybe when we were younger, maybe that stuff would have applied. But when you grow up, you realize like it's good when somebody's nice to you. Like you want a woman that's going to respect you. You want a man that's going to be nice to you. That's how you have a good relationship. Let's see here. Next question. Let's see. The time is now. Says for the right price, I would adopt a child. Let's see. Like his grandson, who's about to make a living in pro boxing, he's not truly Ali's grandson by DNA. Interesting. Let's see. Somebody says, Boyce, give it up, man. Nah, I don't give up. Let's see. Did y'all look at the Shade Room and see all those women getting off the airplane? They had just got a BBLS from Dominican Republic. What's a BBLS? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. You're totally missing Kevin Samuels' message. Maybe we are. Who knows? But if you're picking a child that's easy, you're picking an easy road. picking a child. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. My mother was vegan, didn't smoke nor drink. My father didn't want that. I'm with you. Yep. I think that's the key to his videos. The child who is struggling needs help. I agree. I wish he focused on finances, man. That's what he knows. All the other shit is not him. Well, I told you guys, I'm not a black man I'm not a finance professor who happens to be black. I'm a black man who happens to be a finance professor. So, yeah. So, but yeah, if you want to go talk about 401ks and IRAs, I'm sure there's plenty of people that'll just talk about financial stuff. And that's okay. But I told you guys that's not who I am. Talk to me. I'm so glad I found you. I wish I was following you a long time ago. You're the real deal. Well, bless you. Thank you so much. You hate your father. No, I don't hate my father. I love my father. Accept my request. Boyce, you should interview Reggie Middleton. Okay, I don't know who that is, but I'll look it up. Samuel's mannerisms do be low-key prudy. I'm not going to judge that. I don't care if a person's gay or not. But I'm not a metrosexual type guy. And also, I just really think I would be really curious to know about that high school stuff. Like the picture was a little interesting, and also they said, "What do you like to do?" He said, "I like dancing, clothes, and meeting people." He's a member of the dance team. The dance team, right? Right, and he was let's see, it was the HSS dancers and the band. And so that's not something that me and my buddies did in high school. That just wasn't what we didn't say that we like dancing, clothes, and meeting people. Why is that important? It's important not because we care who he's sleeping with. It's important because there's a difference between a heterosexual man who's critiquing women and a man who is critiquing women because he's competing with women. Because a gay man is not just critiquing women from an objective standpoint. A gay man is competing with women. He's saying women are messed up because I know what men want and they don't. And if we get these bitches out the way, then I can have the penis for myself. I'm not saying that that's him. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that is worth discussing. I think it's okay to talk about that. I told you guys, on Friday nights when we do these conversations, I like to just be honest. If you want to know what I'm thinking, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'd like to just really know. I'm curious. I'm very curious. That's it. That's all. And I'm not, because it's relevant. It's relevant. It's just like when I told you guys earlier, I'm a bad person to give advice to you about how to get a promotion at your job or how to get along with your boss, because I don't need a boss. I compete with your boss, right? I'm running a company like your boss. So I'm not the guy who's going to give you good advice. I'm going to tell you to tell your boss to kiss your ass, whatever, right? That's not the best advice. You need advice from another employee who's going to tell you how to keep your job, right? So a woman, I think, is better to get advice either from a man who is attracted to women or from another woman who knows how to keep a man. She should not get advice about men from a gay guy, and she should not, and also the gay guy shouldn't be giving men advice about women, right? Because they're not interested in heterosexual relationships. So I'm not saying Kevin's in that category, though. I'm just saying that those are legitimate questions that Vicky Dillard was asking and bringing up, because I think a lot of black women are pissed off and hurt. Good black women. I'm talking about quality women, not some of these deranged extreme feminists. I'm talking about just quality women who respect us, who are feeling like, man, like, do you really have to beat up on us so much and make us feel bad? I think black women feel really terrible. A lot of them, I know good black women who are just hurt by the fact that they can't find quality men that are ready for marriage. There is a statistical disproportion of the number of marriage eligible women and the number of marriage eligible men in the black community. This was created through mass incarceration, through 20 years of extermination of the black man through the war on drugs. So what it's done is the number of women that are ready for marriage, that are doing well in their career, that are ready to settle down, that are capable of maintaining a family is here. The number of black men that can do the same thing and meet them at that mark is here. So you have, a 2-to-1, 3-to-1 type ratio. Here's what that does. Well, for men like myself who are heterosexual, who have, money and who are stable, you're getting 10 women, 20 women chasing you at one time. That was my big issue. I had a lot of women. Like Kevin said, he's beating them off with a stick. Yeah, I had to really walk away from a lot of interest from a lot of women because I would go places and there'd be 3 of us and there'd be like 40 women, right? And so it kind of puts women in this really tough circumstance because a lot of women are really committed to Black men. They only are like my wife. My wife says, I can't be attracted to a man who's not Black. Black men are the only ones that I've ever been interested in, and Black American men in particular. So that reduces the number of options somebody like that might have. Now, my wife is a little different in the sense that she was so pretty her whole life that she had a lot of guys that were always chasing her, NBA players, NFL athletes, all that stuff. So she didn't see it the way, like, imagine an average woman who's not drop dead gorgeous or whatever. It's tough out there, and it's very sad for them, and some of them are lonely and hurt. And when you tell them, like, well, because you don't go along with what I say, you're going to die alone. I don't like that at all because you're hurting her feelings. And that poor little girl might go home and kill herself. I mean, I just think we got to do better, man. We can't do it that way. That's not right. And if you don't agree with me, then I'm sorry. I can't help you. I can't give you a better answer that's consistent with your feelings. I can only give you what I see as the facts. So that's my 2 cents. That's what I see, and that's what I believe. You'll see here. Chris says, I understand I was scarred when I lost my mom. Yeah, man, I'm sorry, brother. I'm very sorry. Well, I say to your mother, brother, I'm very sorry to hear that. Why is nobody talking about the Black farmer situation? I didn't really see that, but I did see something where Black farmers did get screwed. So I know if you go to the blackbosschannel.com, I believe Farmer Brown, the MC, probably talked about that. So go to theblackbosschannel.com, TAG. That's where the brothers do their thing. Jeff Licey Jr., all those guys. What's the brother's name? The Minister of Wellness, Nathaniel Jordan, is on their platform. Adrian Carter, Dr. Adrian Carter is on there. He's a really good with relationships. It's theblackbosschannel.com. So feel free to go there. A lot of smart brothers on there. Dr. Maurice Green, who's the head of the Black Doctoral Network, which is the largest organization of Black PhDs in the country. He's on there a lot. So go to theblackbosschannel.com if you want to hear what men have to say. Good men who are smart, who care about women, who care about the community, who care about other brothers. They're on that channel and they do a really good job. So feel free to go take a look. Theblackbosschannel.com. That's the URL. Let's see. Now, sometimes you have to cut ties when people are doing foul things. That is so true. Yeah, people show different faces to different people. Absolutely. What do you think of trading in the Forex markets? I think the Forex market is very liquid, but it's not as easy to make money as the stock market. It's easy to make money in the stock market, even though you could train a monkey to make money in the stock market, but the Forex market is a lot more difficult. Somebody says you're rambling. Yeah. Fuck you. Get off my channel. I see you are slimming down quickly, my brother. Healing and living, thinking, living, and investing. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I am actually putting on just a little bit of weight, but I'm going to try to change that. I feel you, doctor. I'm not trying to climb Mount Everest. No, I'm not. You might get triggered. Yes, I do. Somebody said he ramming. I don't know what ramming means. It's soft porn. I don't know what's soft porn. Let me see. I'm gonna scroll down because I'm obviously a little bit behind in the chat. Are you still investing in upcoming Black startups? Yes. Just not as many as I want to, but I have invested in a few, and also Black-owned schools. Alicia and I want to give money to some Black-owned schools. We've given money to a few. We gave money to the X School for Boys with King Randall. Shout out to him. We gave money to the, what's that school? Freedom Home Academy International in Chicago. And there was another school I think we gave. Black Achievers in Louisville. Black Achievers in Louisville, we're going to give them a $20,000 donation for their organization because Black Achievers gave me a scholarship, but nobody else did. So, people can say what they want, but I think you should also ask them what they're doing for the community. A lot of them aren't doing anything except talking. So I don't want to just talk. I actually want to do things. Boys, talk about GE, please. I like GE. I own GE. I bought more GE this week. That's all there is to say about that. Let's see. Is the image of Black men and women mostly negative? Yes, it is, especially in white mainstream media. Want to help with a school? I feel like that's important. Yes, we need more Black-owned schools that are going to teach Black people the right thing to do. Let's see. Kareem Ali says, throw me a wrench, Doc. I'll get rid of them haters. I would like to throw you a wrench. The problem is that we threw wrenches at people and they actually went in and were deleting comments from people that were supportive. So I have to be really careful about that. I would like to send you some detox. I sent you an email. Or I put an email in there, producer@flynubianmedia.com. So feel free to shoot an email over there. The FDMG Academy. Am I going to give money to that? I gave some money. I don't want to give any more. I made a small donation, but maybe once it's built, I'll give some more money. That index fund you recommended was that SPY ETF. Yes, that is called a spider. It's the S&P 500 ETF, and that is a way to invest all the way across the entire stock market. So you're well diversified, and you won't lose your money unless the entire stock market disappears, which it won't. It never has. Let's see here. But last, remember, she's only one person. Also, prenups are good. Yeah, prenups are very good. My wife and I signed a prenup. I think prenups are okay. And that's why. So if you're worried about losing your money, it's part of it's simple. Just get with somebody that has money of their own, and then they're going to be worried about protecting their money, and you're going to be worried about protecting yours. And then you just do a prenup, and everything's fine. So my wife and I did do a prenup because of that. She was like, I don't want your money, so. I was like, I don't want yours. So, the most you can ask for is that somebody's fair, and she's fair in that way. So I can't guarantee we're gonna, I plan to be married for good. I'm like my father. My father, is the kind of guy where, he made sure he was going to stay married, even if my mother didn't want to stay married. Like, so if my mother tried to say, I'm leaving, my father would be like, well, where are we going? I'm going with you. If you leaving, I'm going with you. Like, he wasn't letting that happen, and that type of determination is something I learned from him. And so I don't have a plan to, when I make a commitment, I stick to it. That's why I don't make commitments very often. But when I make it, I want to stick with it. But you never know what's going to happen. So prenups are okay. It's okay. What it does is it ensures an orderly departure in case you break up. It's not a messy thing that's going to throw you off. Can you go to your questions on IG? Yes, I just answered that question. So there you go. There's your question. Let's see here. Can't wait for Umar's school to be done. Yeah, I can't either. I hope he builds it. I really do. I just haven't seen it yet, but maybe one day it'll happen. Do you think that we'll have a recession in 2025 through 2027? A recession is definitely coming. Recessions always come as part of the business cycle. It's not the end of the world. Recessions are actually buying opportunities if you know how to work it. Let's see. Next, stock or crypto? I like them both. I would like to send you. Oh, you already mentioned the detox tea. Do you give consultations to young Black entrepreneurs? I don't do a lot of one-on-one consultations anymore just because it's time consuming. But we do have blackmoney103.com. That's our entrepreneurship program. And actually this week, attorney Nicole Compton is coming in to talk about trademarking your business. So if you're interested, go to blackmoney103.com. We have a 6-part Black Money sequence, 101 through 106. That's really good. And so 103 is entrepreneurship. So you can feel free to go take a look at that. And there's a lot of content in there for the last 5 years. Let's see. What do you think about Kevin Hart wearing a skirt in the latest movie? I guess that's Hollywood. Guys have to wear skirts and stuff. Yeah, and Kevin Hart, from what I understand, he's been going through it a little bit, but I don't know a whole lot about it. But yeah. How you gardenership over it's like gradenship over my mom. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Have you heard about BlackRock buying up all the real estate? Yes, I have. And they are $1 trillion company and they have a ton of money. Thank you, Dr. Boyce. Your program is very educational. Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate those kind words. Let's see here. What type of BW you looking for? I could give you my candid advice. What kind of type of BW? You need Black woman? He's on multiple platforms and I'm moving around. Yeah, DDS. Yeah, I'm on multiple platforms. It's something called StreamYard that lets you stream to YouTube and Facebook at the same time. Plus I'm on Instagram. My Instagram is the real Boyce Watkins. So follow me on Instagram. The index. Okay, let me go down. Next question. What are your thoughts on high risk investments? In Start Engine like Popcom, which is like a BOB. High risk investments, just make sure you're prepared. If you invest in a startup, just be prepared for 2 things. 1 is the risk, 2 is the illiquidity. Illiquidity means that it's not like buying shares of Ford or GE where you can just sell it, and get your cash back. When you put your money in a startup company, you're going to have to wait a while. So I think like one of the problems that I think happened with the Tulsa Fund, for example, which I invested in, is that, I knew when I gave Jay in his company my 10 grand, I put 10 grand in the fund. I wanted to support it because I would really like what he was doing. I actually was on Jay's page and I saw Nipsey Hussle, the late Nipsey Hussle. Shout out to him. He said, "This is epic, man. This is great. I'm gonna invest 10,000." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'm gonna put 10,000 in too." So we put 10,000 in the fund, and that was like 3 years ago. And I knew that that money wasn't going to come out anytime soon. I knew that money was locked in. And I think a lot of people thought, and think investing is like a quick flip. So you don't really want, so when you talk about accepting money or dealing people's money, you got to make sure people are ready, that they really understand the nature of what the investment is. Because if you're investing money in something that's long-term and you expect it to be a quick flip, that's like somebody who, meets a stripper and has a one night stand, but thinks that that's going to be his wife, right? No, the stripper is not going to be your wife. Right? That's going to be if that's a one night stand, that's what it is. You got to just know what it is. So some investments are easy. You can buy the stock in the morning, sell it in the afternoon. Some investments, your money's going to be locked up for 3, 4, 5 years. So you got to be ready for that. Now you can make more, but it may take you a while to get the liquidity back. So you got to be really careful about that. Okay. Just make sure you know what it is. If you know what it is, then it's okay. What do you think about SPCE? You're talking about you're talking about Virgin Galactic. I love Virgin Galactic, man. I made a killing on Virgin Galactic. I owned about $40,000 worth of that stock, which turned into about 80 grand by the time I was done. Virgin Galactic, that was a great investment. I sold my shares today, and I'm mad because I sold them at 47. But I'm actually going to buy back in and sell the options because the options prices are extremely high. So Virgin Galactic. Shout out to Sir Richard Branson. Okay. BMW or Mercedes, pick one. Mercedes. If I get a car, if I decide to get a fancy sports car, I'm going to get a Benz. Let's see. Somebody says moist napkins, Boule reject. Oh, man. All right, dude. I'm going to have to block you out, man. You sound like one of the idiots. So you got to go. See you later. All right. Let's see. Next question. Can you bring on Dr. Claude to talk about how Biden has not funded Black-owned high-speed railway? Yeah, I talk to Dr. Claude once or twice a week, and he's not feeling well, but when he feels better, we will bring him back for sure. Why do you avoid speaking about real money, which is silver and gold, especially for wealth preservation in this inflationary environment? I think that's an excellent point. I talk about gold periodically, and I own gold. Okay? I own shares in the gold trust. I own some gold mining stocks. In the stock market class, I did make some recommendations of stocks you can buy that'll help, protect you from inflation. I'm not excited about gold, honestly. I think gold is a little overhyped in the sense that I feel like gold is a good way to protect your money, but it's not a great way to make money, right? So I wasn't avoiding gold. Honestly, though, gold just doesn't excite me. But then again, I don't hate it. This is gold, and my necklace is gold, So I don't hate gold. But it's just, it just doesn't get me going. I don't see this as like the big thing that's going to make you all the money. So it's nothing against gold, just, my preference. Let's see, Instagram. I can't ask a question. You can't ask a question on Instagram. I'm sorry. What do you think of Fidelity? Fidelity is a very strong company. I think their app is very good. I have no issues with Fidelity. Where do we send business proposals? Producer at flynubianmedia.com. Producer at flynubianmedia.com. What is the new bill? I have no idea. Dr. Boyce, did you pull out a BTG? You talk about Bit to Gold or whatever that company was? I did not pull out of that. I still own that. I have to go look and see how it's doing. I hope it didn't crash. Let's see. By the way, I'll put my Instagram up here, or actually go to allblackeconomics.com if you want a free e-copy of my book. It's called It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar. Let's see. Trolls get blocked. Yes, they do. Duel is in here. Duel does not play. So all trolls, everybody who's in here just ready to talk smack, say something so she can block you for life, because we need to get rid of you. We're exterminating trolls. We are killing the roaches. Let's see, Dr. Boyce, what are your thoughts on the insurance industry's impact on the Black community? Do you feel it is one of the foundations of the Black community? Yes, I think insurance is important. Everyone should know about it. The options are good. Nothing else to say about it. Especially life insurance. Everybody should have it. Health insurance and all that stuff, of course, is important. I like, even if you do something like universal and whole life policies that they have the savings and investment component, where you can kind of do I think they call it infinite banking. I'm all for that. I think insurance is a good thing to look into. Let's see. How can I get a signature for a new independent party? I don't know. I guess you got to go collect the signatures, right? John McAfee thoughts. John McAfee was a crazy drug addict, and And I'm not surprised he was in prison. I'm not surprised he died in prison. I feel bad for the poor guy, but I guess he had a crazy life. It's time for it to come to an end. Um, let's see. Can you bring Winford Perry to your platform? I don't know him, but I will Google him. I've never heard of him though. Do you believe Forex is good? A good menu to trade. It's a very good, solid, liquid market for sure. Um, let's see. Is term life better than whole life? I choose term, but I understand why people choose whole life. Whole life has more to it, but it's more costly. I take the extra money I would have spent on whole life, and I just get term because I have assets that I'm gonna pass to my kids and estate plans and all that. So I don't really need my insurance policy to do much for me in terms of wealth transfer because I don't have young children. And I have my 10-year-old, but also remember she has a dad, so he's got her. Her dad is really good with money, so she's gonna be good. Like between her two daddies, she's gonna be in great shape. And but overall, I like term because I can take the extra money and you can invest it. I like to invest my money and keep it active. Let's see here. Somebody says I've seen a pic of Calamine the fraud in drag floating around the place. If you didn't know it was him, well, you could not have guessed. Spooky. Calamine the fraud. I think. Oh, you're talking about Charlotte? Is that the nickname for Charlemagne the God? Yeah, well, that's his battle to fight. I don't know much about it. I haven't been on the Breakfast Club in a while. I think that we I was on Breakfast Club like 4 times, and I respect Charlemagne because he invited me on, and I appreciate that forever. I would never ever say anything negative for that. But I think that the thing with Angela Rye, I think that when I told Angela Rye about herself, I feel like that caused a problem because I didn't know Angela and Charlemagne were that close. And I still don't like Angela. I still think Angela Rye's a bitch, and I'm not going to take it back because I saw the way she behaved. I saw the way she treated people, and I really didn't like it. It really angered me because I felt she was being really disrespectful to people, and I can't take that back. But I think that it might have caused a rift in our friendship, and so that made me kind of upset, kind of sad, But life happens. Angela Yee, that's different from Angela Rye. Angela Rye is the lady on CNN. Angela Yee is on the Breakfast Club. Angela Yee is very nice. She was always really nice. Let's see here. Let's see. What is a good amount of land as a percentage of real portfolio? I don't know, maybe a third, maybe 20, 30%. Can you bring Dr. Ray Higgins on your platform? I do not know Ray Higgins. I'm sorry. Do you own Tesla? Probably as part of a mutual fund, but I don't own it directly. I own ARK investing funds, and they own Tesla, but I don't own it directly. I don't like Tesla. I feel like Tesla's kind of a crazy stock. Elon Musk kind of disappointed me because he's a little bit too all over the place. I'm not a fan. Let's see here. Courtney says, bring Track Baby to your platform. She is the first Black woman to own a shoe brand. Track Baby. Okay, that's nice. Maybe, honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm not really a journalist. I don't like doing a lot of interviews, to be honest with you. I do them, but it's not really, I don't know. I like just talking to you on YouTube and stuff. I don't really, the interviews and stuff, you got to make an appointment and, all that. I don't know. I just do it as a service. It's not something I really like doing, to be honest with you. Is CPRX a good stock to invest in? It is a pharmaceutical stock. I do not know that company, but I do know pharmaceutical stocks can be really volatile, so you got to be really careful. So I would look at the history of the stock just to see what it is and see what the volatility looks like. And if you're okay with that, then I would take a look. If Brian Sutton, if I was to teach Black men how to invest, what do you think I should avoid? I would just teach them the difference between being an investor and being a gambler. A lot of people think gambling is investing, and it's not the same thing. They throw money around and treat the stock market like it's a crapshoot, and that's just not how you're supposed to invest. Investors are like farmers. You plant a seed and you let it grow. You're not just trying to roll the dice. Hey, Dr. Watkins, with the way you like to short markets and stock options, I would think you would do the same in crypto using Forex. That's a thought. I don't really short, but what I do is I do sell covered call options. So that's a little bit, but that is kind of a short to some extent. It's selling the upside in advance. So I wouldn't call it as much a short because I actually take a little bit of the upside and I keep that. But I get what you're saying. I'm not exactly an evangelist for the stock. Like if you think AMC is going to the moon and you want to buy the call options and you push up the price of the options, I will sell you those options. Right. So because I don't care if AMC goes to the moon. I don't know if it will or not. I don't give a shit. I just want to get my money. and you can gamble with yours. So I've been selling covered call options on AMC stock for several weeks, and I've made a lot of money because if you notice, AMC stock hasn't gone down too far. It's just kind of hovered right in that 50-something range, and that works out perfectly for me because people that buy the call options were paying really high premiums because they expected the price to keep going up, and it hasn't. So those people have been losing a lot of money, and I have no problem taking the other side of that trade. Do you recommend the top 3 ETFs that are low enough to buy into but have potential to be lucrative? I don't know if I have a top 3 as far as ETFs. I think Kathy Wood's ETFs are pretty good because I like, but it is, I like it because I just think technology is cool, and I like the idea of being a part of something that could be really big, 10 years from now. So I wouldn't say I have a top 3 ETFs, but I think Kathy Wood stuff is good. Also on the Robinhood app, they rate the different investments and stuff like that. So that might be of help to you. At what point should we leave platforms like Stash? Are they safe? I don't know. That's yet to be tested. That's a good question. I think Stash could crash or have a problem. So I would not put all my money on one app. Let's see. For the amateur investor, is Robinhood a good spot to invest? I think Robinhood's fine. Now, my friend Ice Cube doesn't like Robinhood. He hates Robinhood. But just because we're friends doesn't mean we have to agree on everything. I think Robinhood is not terrible. They do some things that are a little bit problematic, but, the good outweighs the bad to me. But I can understand why people have issues with Robinhood for sure. Right, bro. Do you think the Fed is the reason house prices are inflated? If so, they're doing it to benefit banks. I don't know if they're doing it to benefit banks, but they are doing it to boost the economy. So what the Fed does is basically they pump the economy full of money and they reduce interest rates so that it's cheaper to borrow money. So capital's kind of everywhere. Also, the money supply is higher. So, what happens then is you create inflation. It's like, inflating. If you have a flat tire, you're pumping it up, you're trying to inflate it, but you don't want to inflate too much of the tire will bust. So the Fed has been pumping up the tire of the economy for a long time to inflate prices, which isn't always a bad thing. When prices go up, like right now, a lot of people are challenging the Fed and saying inflation is going to be too high. But the chairman, Jay Powell, shout out to him because he's saying that no, the higher prices means, there's going to be more jobs, higher wages. Black and brown people haven't benefited as much in the economy. We want to make sure everybody benefits. And I think that's fine. I think that sometimes, to create more employment, you got to deal with just a little bit of inflation as long as it doesn't get out of control. So, so the Fed is pumping up housing prices, but I don't think what they're doing is terrible. Right now, what you have is you have a really bad supply chains because COVID shut down all the supply chains for almost everything that you need. So it's really hard to get anything. So when supply is lower, prices go up. So that's what's going on right now. And that's where the big conversation's happening as far as investing goes. All right, guys, I'm about to go. I'm actually going to go on my Twitch channel and play some Call of Duty with my homeboys. If you guys want to actually go to the Twitch channel, feel free to go hang out. I'll put it on the screen so you can see it. Let me see. Where is it? Crap. Here we go. Here's my Twitch channel. It's Dr. Boyce Watkins on Twitch. So just look it up. And so there you go. That's what it is. So it was fun talking to you, and it was really fun answering questions. And if I offended anybody with anything that I said, all I can say is fuck you. And I'm kidding. I'm joking. If you're a hater, then yeah, that's for sure. But if you're not, if you are a supporter, thank you. Not fuck you. Thank you. And I am glad that you guys are here, and I'm glad that I have somebody normal to talk to in the community. I think you guys are my heroes. You are champions for your families. You are doing wonderful things, and I just applaud you. And I understand. I feel your pain. We live in a world full of crazy people, and I don't want to be a part of the craziness. I want to be a part of something good. So have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Be good. Peace.